Hey guys, welcome back. Big Films 39 here. And today in this video I'm showing you my entire superhero movie and TV series collection. I didn't realize how many superhero movies I actually had. My floor is just covered with all of them that I'm going to show you. So this is going to be a very long video. There's just no way around it, but one of my viewers actually requested this video. His name is Movie Biz, and I'll leave his link in the description. Thank you for requesting this awesome video. I thought it was a cool idea myself, so thank you, buddy. I hope you like it. It's going to be really long, but you better tell all of your friends so this video can get a ton of views, because I am going through a lot of trouble here to make this. And yeah, I was going to do this anyway. I wanted to do another entire Blu-ray collection video, but those are always super long and it's a huge pain. And I think this will be the first video to start off a series of videos where I'm just going to show you pieces of my collection. So like this will be my superhero movie collection, and then I'll eventually do action movies and comedies like that. So I think it'll be easier to show you my collection that way, and you won't have to sit through a 2-hour video. But this video again will be very long anyways. But let's just get started. I've tried to group them by the various superheroes, like Batman and Superman. I try to make some kind of method here. I hope it makes sense, but let's just get started. This is going to be a long one. All right, so we'll start off with my Marvel movies. Captain America: The First Avenger. I really like this movie. I know a lot of people say they don't like it, that this is their least favorite of Phase 1 and maybe all of the Marvel movies. And the first time I viewed this movie, I thought the same thing. The most memorable scenes from this movie from the first viewing for me were the scenes where he was like traveling to these different army bases, and they were showing Captain America off like some kind of beauty pageant thing, where he was, I remember where he was kneeling down on his shield, and they were like showing him off. And yeah, that's goofy, but when I watched it again the second time, that stuff, I thought it didn't ruin the movie. It was just a much smaller part of the movie than I had remembered, and I actually really liked it when I rewatched it, and it's become one of my favorite Marvel movies. Definitely my favorite of Phase 1, and I like the origin story of Captain America. I think there's good action in there. The action scenes, the choreography feels a little weird, I think, at times. It kind of feels, I don't know, the choreography kind of, I don't want to say it feels fake, but the audio isn't really good. It kind of feels like you're watching a cartoon. But solid story. I love that it leads right into the Avengers, and they carry on that storyline and into the second Captain America movie as well. So I really like this one. I actually think it's a really good movie. Captain America: The First Avenger. And then Captain America: The Winter Soldier. This is the steelbook here. One of my favorite steelbooks. I love that cover art. And there's the back. Generic cover art on artwork on the back, but nonetheless still one of my favorite steelbooks. This movie I just loved, and I love just seeing how drastically different it is. Obviously it's set in modern times, whereas the first Captain America movie was that World War II setting, but I just loved it. I love how they just revamped everything, the tone of the movie, the cinematography. They made it feel like a Jason Bourne type of movie with the action and the spy espionage theme. I just loved it. And what's great about the Captain America movies, like I already said, they tie directly into what goes on with the Avengers more so than any of the other solo movies. But it was just a really suspenseful movie, very epic, and again, you feel really engaged with the plot because these are high stakes, and it's affecting Shield and what's going to happen to the Avengers. But I really loved it. I can't wait for Civil War. And this to me is the best Marvel movie other than the Avengers, the first one. I think it's better than the Avengers 2, definitely, and definitely better than any other solo Marvel movie. So I really loved Captain America, the Winter Soldier. All right, and then some of the crappy solo Marvel movies to me. The Incredible Hulk. The Edward Norton film, which is part of Phase 1. I don't own the other one that came out before this. I don't remember much about that film, but I think I don't know if I would like this more because I really don't like this film. I know a lot of people do, but the most disappointing thing about this movie to me is that the scenes with Edward Norton where he's just a dude and he's on the run, those scenes are way more interesting to me than anything with the actual Hulk in this movie. I didn't find the story very interesting. I didn't think any of the action scenes were that compelling. Yeah, I didn't like it. And if the human scenes are more interesting than the superhero scenes, that's just never a good thing. So I really don't care about this movie. Iron Man. This is the most acceptable one for me of the whole series. I actually hate both 2 and 3. I thought they both sucked. 3, I could probably I'd have an easier time watching that again than 2, but I don't own either of those movies. I might buy them if they were really cheap. I'm talking like $5, but even Iron Man 1 though, not a big fan of it. I think it has the best pacing by far of the 3 movies. There's the villain sucks, and that's the case pretty much with all of the Marvel solo films except for Captain America. So the villain, there's really nothing interesting going on. Like Iron Man doesn't really have a real villain to fight. It's just him kind of figuring out his new life as Iron Man. Better action, though, than there was in 2 or 3, I definitely think. But just kind of an average, disappointing movie to me. Not a big fan. And I'm going to echo a lot of the same sentiments about this movie, Thor: The Dark World, that I just did with Iron Man. And the thing about Hulk, Iron Man, and Thor, if I want to see those guys kick ass and if I want to appreciate them as superheroes, I'll just watch the Avengers because that's where they really shine. They don't in their solo movies. So Thor: The Dark World, I don't have the first one, and I don't hate the first one like I hate the Hulk movies or the other Iron Man movies. But the first movie, it's just kind of underwhelming. He comes to Earth. I hate that whole Earth aspect and the whole romance with Natalie Portman's character. I mean, no one gives a crap about that. I wish they could just make it about Asgard and keep it in that realm. But this movie was more entertaining than the first, more popcorn, easier to watch, but more enjoyable action scenes. I saw the movie in the theater. When I rewatched the Blu-ray, it took a step down for me. Just another story that doesn't feel relevant, doesn't tie into the Avengers, and I just don't really care for it. I mean, I'll probably watch it again at some point, but doesn't touch either of the Captain America movies, in my opinion. All right. and The Avengers, the first movie. This to me, this and The Dark Knight Rises are the best best superhero movies ever made. To me, this was really a home run. I know some people have problems with it. I just loved seeing all the superheroes on screen, all kicking ass. Like I just said, Iron Man, Thor, and the Hulk, you can actually really like them here, which you can't in their solo movies, at least not for the action or what they do as superheroes. I mean, in those movies, they're kind of more dramas. They try to do character development and stuff, make you care about them that way, but this is where they really shine as superheroes. Also, Captain America is great. But this, I really loved it. I loved Loki as the villain, and, that felt very epic, which, you're always looking for from a superhero movie. It had high stakes and a very, very good payoff at the end. A big, great, epic action scene. And I just think this was a complete home run. And Avengers Age of Ultron, I enjoyed it. It was fun, good action. But the story did not compare to this movie. And the action scenes were not nearly as memorable as any in this movie. Especially the one at the end. I think the climax in this just trumps that in Age of Ultron. I did pre-order Age of Ultron. I'm looking forward to seeing it again, but that to me is just a good movie, where this is just a great movie that will have a lasting legacy among superhero films. So I love this movie. My favorite Marvel movie, easily, I think Winter Soldier comes close. It's my second favorite. We'll see how Civil War is. I mean, that sounds incredible, but right now, this to me and The Dark Knight Rises are the two most epic, best superhero movies ever. So, love that. And then Guardians of the Galaxy. This is the Best Buy Steelbook. I know it was really hard to get, and I think really rare now. But Guardians of the Galaxy, I like it as a fun movie. It's really lighthearted. But let's just be honest, there's no story here. The story just sucks. And it's okay because, Chris Pratt has such great charisma, and the other characters like Groot and Rocket Raccoon are really lovable. But it's more of a drama with some light, fluffy popcorn action. I actually think the action scenes felt kind of rushed, and they really underused everyone, but especially Groot, Rocket Raccoon, and Drax. I mean, you have Drax played by Dave Bautista, this huge, ripped wrestler guy, and he could have done way more. Same thing with Groot and Rocket Raccoon. They hardly do anything in the action scenes. And, for that and the really crappy, non-existent storyline, I have to say that it's a decent, fun movie, but I did not love this as much as everyone else did. I actually think it's quite overrated, but fun movie. Definitely better than all of the Iron Man movies or Thor or the Hulk. So, other than Captain America, I'd say the best solo Marvel movie. Alright, what are we doing next? We're doing Batman next. I'll just show you these DVDs real quick, just because I have them. All the original Batman live action movies. I got these a long time ago. I bought them at Blockbuster. All in one day, I remember. I think it was 2004, 2005 when I got all of these. But just showing you those DVDs, and I'll show you the Blu-rays now. Batman, the Steelbook. This is the 89 one, or whatever it is. I remember seeing this movie a few times as a kid, and I hadn't seen it for 10 years after that. And in my mind, I always thought that I really liked it. I watched the Blu-ray again about a year ago, and I just couldn't get into it. I know it's a classic, and it was the first Well, there was the older Batman movie from the 50s or whenever it was. I don't have that one, but I know everyone loves it. I guess I can appreciate it for what it is, and how it started, the superhero movies, but I just can't really get into it. Batman Returns, I actually like this one a little bit more. Same thing, I'd seen it a long time ago. I couldn't remember much about it, and then saw it a year ago. I got both of these steelbooks, by the way, in a contest from Trey Passer, a really popular guy here in the movie community. So thank you to him. But Batman Returns, I could get into this one a little bit more. I thought it was a little darker, a little more action. I liked Danny DeVito as the Penguin, but there's some really goofy storyline stuff going on with that. I think he was running for mayor or something. Really weird stuff. Yeah, and then Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. I just showed you the DVDs, but I don't have those on Blu-ray, and I haven't watched those also in probably over 10 years. So I know everyone hates both of them, so I probably won't be getting the Blu-rays. Maybe if they put out a steelbook. I know they're foreign steelbooks, but if they put out a U.S. steelbook, I'll probably get it. But can't give my opinions on those because I haven't seen them in so long. Okay, what am I going to do now? We're going to do Batman the Animated Series, but before that, I have this movie. I didn't know where to include it. Catwoman. I have it on DVD. I saw this in the theater way back. When was this? Like 2004? I don't know. Yeah, 2004. And, back then when I was a kid, I thought it was okay. I didn't love it or anything. If I saw it today, I probably wouldn't give a shit about it, but just needed to include that. It is a superhero movie, but Halle Berry is better served as Storm in the X-Men. Okay, oh, sorry, I said we're doing Batman, the Animated Series, but I forgot about Christopher Nolan Batman movies. So I have Batman Begins, nice steelbook. I really like this movie. I like it better than The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight Rises is my favorite, though. I said that with the Avengers, to me, is like the most epic superhero movie ever. I really like this one, though. I like the origin story. I was never a huge fan, when this first came out, but when I got the Blu-rays a couple years ago and rewatched them, and then watching the '89 Batman, I had a whole new appreciation for this. So I really like it. I think the best pacing out of the three movies, and good action in there. I like the origin story. Real solid movie. I enjoy Batman Begins a lot. And then The Dark Knight, also the steelbook. I love the opening action sequence in this with Joker's henchmen robbing the bank, and to me, from that, you can just see the cinematography and the action scenes are incredible. But I like the movie. I don't think the pacing is as good. Again, I love the performance by Heath Ledger as the Joker, of course. I mean, everyone does. But to me, at the end of this movie, there's a huge pacing problem. There's a lull. I think about 20 minutes or maybe more. It's when there's like that bomb is about to detonate and the people are on, I think it's a boat or something. The movie just kind of freezes for about 20 seconds where there's no action or anything going on. And it really just kind of took me out of the movie. I know everyone loves it, but I think it's a little overrated. It's still a good movie. I'm not saying it's a bad movie at all, but yeah. my least favorite of the three. And then The Dark Knight Rises. I just love this movie. I remember seeing it in theaters, and I loved it. It came out the same summer as The Avengers, and it's kind of crazy to think that they both came out within months of each other, but I just love the movie. I thought it was so epic. I thought, performance-wise, of course, the Joker was way better than Bane, as far as drama and acting, and as a character, but the confrontation, the battle between Batman and Bane, nothing matches it. What happened in this movie just feels so epic. I love the multiple fight scenes between Bane and Batman. I love all of the side characters and their stories, how they all intertwined and tied into Batman, Catwoman, and Robin, Talia al Ghul. I loved all of it, and it just felt the most epic to me. What they did with Batman, him being defeated and having to rebuild himself, really loved it. And one of the rare Blu-rays that the picture quality I thought was just as good on the Blu-ray as it was in the theater. I really want to watch this again right now. It is my favorite of the series, and I love it. Like I said, this and The Avengers, to me, it's like the gold standard of superhero movies. Okay. Batman, the animated series. This summer, I just picked up a bunch of these superhero animated series from the 90s and 2000s. I did unboxings of all of them, so if you want to check those unboxings out, go on my channel and check them out. But I completed Batman the Animated Series. I'll be showing all these in this video. Batman Beyond, X-Men the Animated Series, and the Justice League. But Batman the Animated Series, this is Volume 1. I actually got this one a long time ago, probably about 10 years ago. And I talked about this in my most recent Blu-ray update. But I loved these shows, this series so much as a kid. It's what I would look forward to every day, coming home after school. And rewatching it, I mean, if you're not familiar with it from your childhood, you probably won't think so highly of it. But it just has the nostalgia factor, and I still think it's really good. I mean, it's really dark, and Batman's fighting all of these villains, and he has some real struggles as Bruce Wayne, as a man, throughout the series. What can I say? I just really like this stuff. Some of I think the best superhero TV series ever, and I just really like it. But I actually like the second season better than the first. My favorite episode was the Mr. Freeze episode, and they made a movie out of that, Sub-Zero. But in the first season, there were kind of some goofy episodes. There was this one with the Penguin, and a couple of Joker episodes that were just kind of goofy. And the second one, I just finished watching this. It feels more adult. They really cut that goofiness out. I like this one a lot better. Some episodes that really stood out to me from this were a two-part two-episode thing, Robin's Reckoning, where they explain his origin story and they're taking down this mob boss. Thought that was really cool. Like the second season better. So that's Batman the Animated Series Volumes 1 and 2. And then I also have Volumes 3 and 4. Haven't watched them yet. Can't wait to watch them. I remember the Bane episode from when I was a kid. I saw that, and I know that's in this season because there's Bane. And then I'm really looking forward to seeing Volume 4 as well. I remember seeing some of these episodes as well when I was a kid, and I loved the team aspect with Nightwing. I always was intrigued by Nightwing and Batgirl, and the Tim Drake Robin are all in this. So really looking forward to watching both of those seasons, and hopefully they'll be included in my next Blu-ray update. Okay, Batman Beyond. So Batman Beyond, the movie. This was also in my latest Blu-ray update. But what this is, it's not actually a movie. It's just the pilot episode, which is a two-part episode. And then like the first 5 episodes of the first season. I got this a long time ago again. I got it from Blockbuster, probably I think 2003, 2004. And what I thought it was The Return of the Joker, which I actually have never seen, but I just bought it about a month ago. And yeah, the pilot though, the 2-part episode is called Rebirth, and to me it's just incredible. The tone, I love how it ties in directly with Batman the Animated Series. You have Bruce Wayne as an old man, and you have basically the birth of the new Batman. But the tone, the story, that great action in it, I loved everything about it. The next couple of episodes aren't as good. They're still entertaining, there's good action, but that pilot is just incredible. Feels really epic, and I can't wait to watch the rest of the seasons, which I have here. And again, I just picked all these up just within the last month. I have Batman Beyond Season 1, Season 2, these are all DVDs by the way, and Season 3, can't wait to watch all of them. Okay. And then Batman Beyond Return of the Joker. This is on Blu-ray. And I don't know, I always knew about it from when I watched the series as a kid. I don't think I ever caught it on TV, and I never bought it. So was always really disappointed I never got to see this, but looking forward to that. And I was supposed to show this after I showed the Batman the Animated Series, but I also just picked this up recently. It's a 2-pack of Mask of the Phantasm and Sub-Zero. I've never seen Mask of the Phantasm. I know everyone considers that like the best Batman animated movie ever. I can't wait to see it. But Sub-Zero I am familiar with. I saw that a couple times as a kid, and I really loved that one. Like I said, the Mr. Freeze episode from the first season of Batman the Animated Series, that episode to me is just incredible. I love it. I love Mr. Freeze's origin story. I love the kind of the creepy, robotic, filtered voice that they gave Mr. Freeze. And I think this movie ties in directly to that. I actually kind of remember some scenes from the movie, but I can't wait to watch both of these. And then this, I just picked this up from a thrift store a while ago. I think it was like $1, so I just picked it up. I don't know. Scooby-Doo. What does it say? Scooby-Doo meets Batman. I haven't watched it, and I'm definitely going to watch all these other series that I picked up before I watch this, but I don't know. I guess it's kind of cute. Okay, next up, the Justice League. Alright, so same deal. I watched some of these episodes when I was young. This series came out after Batman Beyond, which came after Batman the Animated Series. So I think this was like the early 2000s. And I remember really enjoying some of these. It has that Avengers feel, but DC, where you get all of the superheroes on screen kicking ass. Yeah, I just need to watch them again. I can't really say much more because I haven't seen them, but this is Season 1, Season 2, those are both on Blu-ray, and then the next few seasons, which I guess were renamed Justice League Unlimited, are only on DVD, and they were actually, this one was really hard to find for a good price, and then Season 2 wasn't so hard, but I love the artwork here. It's embossed. This is Unlimited Season 1, and season 2 also on DVD. But as I understand it, I can't remember which one. I think it was season 2, but one of these I think contains 2 of the seasons. So there were actually 3 seasons total of Unlimited and 5 Justice League seasons in all. But yeah, I don't know if I ever saw any of these new ones. I think I remember Supergirl there, or that might have been from Superman the Animated Series. I don't know, but definitely looking forward to watching all of the Justice League seasons. Okay, I just have a big mess here, so I'm trying to figure out where we are with these. Okay, Man of Steel, Steelbook. I won this from my friend, formerly Ben the Movie G, changed his name to Blu-ray Collector 81, I think. I'm going to leave his link in the description below. He's a great friend and a really cool guy. And he's actually doing a giveaway right now for the Mad Max digital copy and some other digital copies as well of other movies. But Man of Steel, a pretty controversial movie. I saw it in theaters. I expected a lot more from it. I was really looking for more of a story of Superman as a kid. I thought it was really kind of a little corny how they just included some of these flashback scenes in the movie whenever they needed to explain something. I would have really much rather preferred just linear storytelling. But how I felt about the movie, I thought it was good. Like, I'd give it a B+. I liked it. It is a bit long, a bit slow. Superman as a character absolutely sucks. I mean, I don't think in the comics he was ever that just stone-faced and cold. I mean, they gave him very little dialogue and thought he displayed very little emotion in this. But I wanted more action, and I know people never understand that when I say that, but most of the action in this, especially at the end where it really just kind of got boring, was just, the city blowing up and all these buildings falling down. And that, to me, just got mind-numbing. I want to see more of Superman actually taking on the bad guys, which he did. There was like one scene, and then at the end he kills Zod. But good movie, solid. I just didn't think it was incredible. Not on the level of the Avengers or The Dark Knight Rises for me. Another thing, Zod. I when this came out, a lot of people complained about him as a villain. Zod was a great villain. Michael Shannon playing him. I thought it was really a really good performance. I think people thought he wasn't evil or menacing enough. I thought he was great. I mean, come on, everyone goes crazy about Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man, all these Marvel movies, but those villains completely suck. I don't know how you can say those movies are great. I mean, Iron Man 3, Guy Pearce as the villain. Come on, Zod was great in this. So good movie. I'm really excited about Batman vs. Superman. I am skeptical, though. I have my worries. Zack Snyder just kind of always worries me because of Watchmen. He didn't really go for that feel in this. That really goofy comic book feel. I can sense a little bit more of that in Batman vs. Superman. But I'll remain hopeful. And Man of Steel, good movie, just not incredible. Not great. Okay, now I'm going to show you my Superman DC animated movies. Superman Doomsday. I don't remember much about this. I don't remember details. I just remember hating it, thinking it was crap. So if you're looking to collect some of these DC animated movies or thinking about which ones to get, I would just not get this one. It's not worth it, at least to me. Same thing with All-Star Superman. Really nice looking slipcover. But this totally sucked, and from what I remember, it was way worse and way more boring than Doomsday. From what I remember, nothing really happens in this movie. I think Superman just takes Lois Lane into his his cave somewhere, and from what I remember, nothing really happened in this. Superman Shazam. This isn't actually really a movie. The Return of Black Adam. It's just kind of a short explaining the story of Shazam. But it wasn't terrible. It's just I only paid a couple bucks from it. I got this when all the blockbusters were closing. And it's okay, but it's just a short. It's not a real movie. Superman versus the Elite. This was the first one where Superman actually felt like Superman to me. You know, he fought the villains in here, and there was some good action. The villains felt real. They felt like a threat. The story, I think, is a little weird. There's this group of villains called the Elite, and they kind of flesh out their origin story, which I didn't really care about. But it was good and definitely way better than All-Star or Doomsday. So, a solid Superman movie. This is one I would recommend definitely over the others if you want to get the good Superman movies. And Superman Unbound. This is the latest one, the last Superman movie they made. And this to me felt the most solid just in terms of the pacing and the storyline. I think this is just the revamped version of Brainiac. I think the original movie they put out was called Brainiac Attacks. But yeah, it's the story of Brainiac, and I liked it. Again, it's Superman kicking ass, and he feels like a superhero in this. Not like the other two crappy movies. The only thing that bothered me was the ending when he has the final showdown with Brainiac. And the way he defeats him, I won't give it away, but it just felt really dumb to me. But yeah, solid Superman movie. I would recommend that one. Okay, and now I'm going to get into the rest of my DC animated original movies collection. And I'll start off with Wonder Woman. This to me was a solid movie. Origin story of Wonder Woman. There's decent action in it. Nothing amazing, but pretty solid. Definitely better than the next three movies I'm going to show you. Green Lantern Emerald Knights. This is actually not the Blu-ray, but the DVD, because I got it from Go Hastings and they sent me the DVD. But I do not care to get the Blu-ray because this movie absolutely sucked. It just goes through these origin stories of different members of whatever you want to call it, Green Lantern's alien friends, whatever. Totally sucked. Green Lantern First Flight. I'm glad that I was able to get this with the green case. I actually just saw it in a Best Buy one day, and I probably wouldn't have gotten it otherwise. If I saw that green case, I had to get it, and apparently it's really rare. But First Flight, better than Emerald Knights, but still a really shitty story, and just pretty crappy overall. There's actually some action in this, which there wasn't in Emerald Knights. Emerald Knights was just like a storytelling thing. But I don't think it's worth it. I would stay away from it. I just wish they could make a good Green Lantern movie. And again, like I was saying about the Marvel movies, how if you really want to appreciate Thor and Iron Man and the Hulk as superheroes, just watch the Avengers. If you want to see Green Lantern kick ass, just watch some of the Justice League movies, either the TV show or the other DC animated Justice League movies. And then the Green Lantern live action movie with Ryan Reynolds. This is the Steelbook. This is when I was when I first got into collecting, and I was really kind of eager to get my hands on all the Steelbooks I could. But now that I'm wiser, and I had seen the movie before I bought it, now that I'm a little wiser, I would definitely not have gotten this. This is not a movie I need in my collection. It just sucks. It's really bad. Everyone hates the new Fantastic Four movie. I think I would rather watch the Fantastic Four movie again than watch this, because it's just boring and it sucks and there's no villain. Totally stupid. I'm looking forward to Deadpool. I'm a little worried about Ryan Reynolds. I mean, the trailer looks really good, but and I don't know, just Ryan Reynolds. I don't think he's really a good actor, but I don't know. He seems to be pulling off Deadpool fine. I don't know. I'll wait to see the movie until I pass judgment. Okay, and now getting into the Batman DC animated movies, but starting with the Superman Batman combo movies. Superman Batman Public Enemies. This to me is there's only two really Batman Superman movies, but this to me is really good. I loved just the dynamic between Batman and Superman in this. They actually, I don't think they fought each other in this. They're actually working together. But good action in it. I don't remember exactly what the storyline is, but I really liked this one. Way, way better than this next one, which is another movie I would just not even get if you're looking to collect these movies. Superman Batman Apocalypse. Best looking cover art, maybe, of all of the DC animated movies, but the movie sucks. I hated it. You would think it's really epic, because they're fighting Apocalypse or Darkseid, but I thought the movie totally sucked. It was really boring. The Superman Batman dynamic was not even that apparent as it was in the other movie, and I just didn't like it at all. I would not spend your money on that one. Alright, now the Batman animated movies, and then we'll move into the Justice League DCU movies. Batman Year One, another one I did not like at all, and I would not recommend this one. I don't even remember any of the Batman scenes in this, honestly. This was like a weird character piece on Commissioner Gordon. He was like having an affair, and they'd actually like show him sleeping with this other lady, and then he was like lying to his wife. Weird stuff. I didn't like this one. Batman Under the Red Hood, one of the bright spots of the DCU movies. This was really good. It starts off with, it's not really a spoiler. I mean, I guess a little bit if you haven't seen it, but I just have to say it because everyone knows it. This is the story of. It starts off with the Joker killing the Jason Todd version of Robin, and then there's this new villain. I think called the Red Hood, that's terrorizing Gotham, and Batman has to fight him and find out who he is. Really good movie, really good action, really solid story. Not like a huge epic thing that like Apocalypse or Doomsday was trying to be, but feels very confined to Gotham and what's going on with this new villain. Really like this one. Definitely one of the best DCU movies of all of them, and I highly recommend this one. It's a really good one. Alright. Yes, continuing with the Batman movies. Batman, the Dark Knight Returns, parts 1 and 2. This is the Target exclusive steelbook, the deluxe version. Love that artwork on the back. This to me, this is the storyline of Frank Miller's The Dark Knight Returns. I know everyone loves it. When I watched it, I just couldn't really get into it. I mean, I liked it. It was cool. It just wasn't as epic as I thought it was going to be. I think Superman shows up for like a second in one of the two movies. And then, it is the older Batman. That girl Robin I thought was just really weird. I need to watch these again, but when I watched them for the first time, it was like 2 years ago, I wasn't really high on them. I just thought it was good enough, but nothing great. Son of Batman, great looking steelbook. Movie totally sucked. I hated it. Felt very, very childish and immature. Batman discovers he has a son, Damian, who who's his son. He had him with Talia al Ghul, but the movie feels very immature. Just Batman chasing around this young bratty punk kid around Gotham. He like steals the Batmobile, and Batman just feels like a babysitter in this. The villain did not feel important or relevant really, and the final battle I thought was very underwhelming. So just very crappy to me. I don't recommend this one. Assault on Arkham. This was the next Batman movie after Son of Batman. I thought it was gonna suck, but I loved it. This was incredible, and from what I gather, this is just exactly what Suicide Squad is going to be. This is just the animated version. I mean, all those rumors you hear about the Joker scene in prison with Harley Quinn, that's all in here. Everything from Amanda Waller, that storyline, it is basically this movie. I mean, if there's anything different, let me know. But that's how I understand it. But I love this. It was dark. I loved this team of villains that have to break into the prison, and I don't remember what they do exactly, but I loved it. Great action, very violent. Batman is only in it for a few scenes, but when he is in there, he feels like Batman. He's kicking ass, fighting the bad guys. This really surprised me. I loved it. Okay, and then the last Batman movie, the latest one in the series, Batman versus Robin. I thought this was just going to be part 2 to Son of Batman, just a continuation of the same crap, but I was totally wrong. This, again, really blew me away. I was very surprised, very surprised, and I loved it. Really good action, really dark. They got really creative and went way more in depth with the story here, with the Court of Owls, than I expected. A really kind of nice, in-depth story and really great action. There's still, the fight between Batman and Robin, but that's not the main thing going on here. The main thing is the Court of Owls, which is like this Illuminati-type society underground running Gotham City. But I was very impressed by this. Loved it. Alright, and now I'll show you the Justice League movies. The DCU Justice League movies. This is a double pack. This also has Batman Gotham Knight, but it's also Justice League The New Frontier, which is the first Justice League movie from DCU. But Gotham Knight just sucks. Another one that you just don't need to have, really. I recommend not getting it. It's just it's like these different shorts of Batman. They don't feel connected. It feels very kind of, it looks like Japanese anime, and the stories just don't really make sense. They're all crap. I wouldn't get those. But The New Frontier, I really liked it. It was like a throwback to the Justice League TV show. It's a story of how they all come together. It's basically what War was, but in this universe. And I like this way more than War. There's some action in there, but I really like New Frontier. I really like almost all of the Justice League movies except for 2 that I'll talk about. Then Justice League Doom. I like this one. Here, the story is, I think there's some villain trying to take down the Justice League, and the Justice League is trying to figure out how this villain knows all their weaknesses and stuff. And I won't give it away, but it's kind of a cool twist in there. And same thing, just kind of good action, a good story. I liked it. And then one of my favorite movies of the series, Flashpoint Paradox, and it is my favorite Justice League movie easily. One of my favorite overall DCU movies. But this was great. They got really creative with the story. There's an alternate universe, and the story centers on Flash. It There's the Reverse Flash. I think this is the storyline that the TV show The Flash is based off of. I don't know. I haven't seen it, but I really loved it. Really creative, really gory, bloody action in this. Yeah, I want them to go in this direction more. I really like that one. All right, Justice League War. Again, a cool steelbook. Most of these Target steelbooks are really cool, except for the latest movie. But the movie just sucked, kind of. I mean, it wasn't as bad as the next one I'll talk about, but pretty bad. It's just the retelling of the origin story of the Justice League, like New Frontier. But New Frontier just felt like it had a lot more substance. It had a lot more life to it. The characters were likable. There's the new character of Cyborg in this. But it just feels dry. The action isn't memorable. There's not some big, epic villain for them to fight. I didn't care for it, really. And War I thought was like as bad as it could get, but then I saw Throne of Atlantis. Again, really beautiful steelbook, but unfortunately the steelbook is better than the movie. This was worse to me than War. I thought it was going to be good. I liked what they were trying to do with Aquaman. I liked his origin story, where in this he's actually born a human. But just everything just felt very generic. Is that the Sea World versus the humans, and didn't feel epic. Again, there's not really a good villain in this, and the movie just felt slow, not really memorable action. There's kind of a disconnect between the Justice League and Aquaman. They should have just made an Aquaman movie. I didn't like this one. Definitely my least favorite of all the... Well, no. All-Star Superman is worse, but this is definitely the worst Justice League movie. I would stay away from it. I don't know. You might like the movies I've been saying I don't like, but I don't recommend them. And then the latest DCU movie and the latest Justice League movie, Gods and Monsters. But like I was saying, this to me is just the worst steelbook. I mean, very generic back art. It's just a shot of the city. Anyways, I wasn't expecting much from this. Batman vs. Robin came out before this, which was really good. I thought DCU had kind of been on a slide before that point, but Batman vs. Robin was really good. I just didn't... I don't know. I didn't think it was going to be bad. I just wasn't expecting much. I really liked it. They revamped the heroes in this, gave them new origin stories. It's a completely different universe. The Justice League here is just Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman, but they give them all origin stories that they actually show you, and they tie those in with the main storyline going on, and it didn't detract from the main storyline, which was really good. But far more memorable action than in the last two Justice League movies, Throne of Atlantis and War. It opens with a bang from the first action scene. It's really gory and bloody. And a pretty clever, interesting storyline. So I really liked it. And I want to see more of these heroes, actually. I thought Batman, the new version of him, was really cool. And he was really violent. I mean, I know they're not going to make another one, but I kind of want to see more, and I really liked it. I was impressed by it. I don't think I liked it quite as much as Batman vs. Robin, but I'd give it like a B+. Still really solid. And the next movie is going to be Batman Bad Blood, which again, I don't know, the trailer doesn't look great, but I was wrong about Assault on Arkham, wrong about Batman vs. Robin, so I could definitely be surprised by it. And then I think they're making The Killing Joke in 2016, so definitely looking forward to that. Alright, so that's it for the DCU animated movies, and we're almost done here. We have X-Men and then a couple of other superheroes left. This is the X-Men trilogy. I really love the X-Men movies. I saw 2 and 3 in the theaters, but I grew up with these. I remember X-Men 2, they had opening with that Nightcrawler scene, that action scene. That to me is just one of the most iconic, most memorable action scenes, most intense, engaging, best action, one of the best action scenes ever made. I absolutely loved it and remember it to this day. If they can do like the storyline from a storyline as good as the one from Days of Future Past and include action scenes like that from X-Men 2, that to me would be like the perfect X-Men movie and would just be a home run. I really like these. I think everyone else kind of hates them. 3 everyone hates. I actually think it's acceptable. There's still some decent action there, some a decent storyline. And one I really like as well doesn't have as much action as the second one. But that was the first time we got to see X-Men on the big screen, and I liked Wolverine's story there and him joining the X-Men. So I really like these, especially 2. I still think I have to say 2 is my favorite over Days of Future Past, but they're really close. I just really like that opening scene with Nightcrawler, and I really like the ending scene where they go into Stryker's lab. But I really like the series. Alright, and moving on to the rest of the X-Men movies. X-Men Origins Wolverine. Now I know this is like, I don't know what you want to call it, the shit stain of the series for a lot of people. I don't hate the movie. Yeah, there are definitely problems with it. Definitely some goofy stuff going on with the storyline, like Gambit and Deadpool, all those characters they included. It didn't feel very polished or refined, but there's decent action in it. I've always been intrigued by the Wolverine origin story, and I thought those kind of those flashbacks to Weapon X and all that. I really like that. I wish they could have focused on that a little bit more. They should have just like made the movie actually about that, like it always has to be these flashbacks, but I wish they could have just made an actual movie with Wolverine. They should still do that. That should actually be the 3rd Wolverine movie. Just make a full movie about his origin story. Because I remember even from the cartoons, I saw like an episode about that where he was in Stryker's army, and I love that aspect from X-Men 2, but I don't hate the movie. I mean, the whole ending with Cyclops and Emma Frost, it's really dumb and there's so many holes with the timeline there. But I can honestly rewatch this one, and I still really enjoy most parts of it. So I can't hate it as much as everyone else does. Okay, and then I'll just show the Wolverine, because supposedly this is like part 2 of the Wolverine series, and then the next one they're making, I think it's called 3. This movie, when I saw it in theaters, I was just really disappointed with it. Definitely really gritty, more bloody than any of the previous X-Men movies. But the action just didn't have that substance behind it that it did in X-Men 2. The story was, I don't know, it was okay, but the villain didn't feel all that relevant. He wasn't present throughout most of the movie. They're just kind of running all over Japan, and then they fight at the end, and it's like, I don't know, I wanted something that tied in more to Days of Future Past or the rest of the X-Men series. And I don't know why they really chose to do this and didn't just make, like I was talking about, a prequel explaining Wolverine's origin story from the beginning, going back to Weapon X and Stryker and all that. And I watched the Blu-ray again. I think I warmed up to it a little bit. I wasn't so hard on it the second time around. But still just, it's entertaining as an action movie, but tying it into the rest of the series just doesn't feel that important. Kind of like the Marvel solo movies, but maybe better than that, because it's more entertaining and has better action than those other standalone movies. I just wanted more out of it. I think overall I'm still just kind of disappointed by it. X-Men First Class, another movie that a lot of people seem to hate. I really like it. I love what's his name? The guy who plays Professor X in this. Is it James McAvoy? I think. No, is it? Yeah, I think so. I love that guy playing Professor X in this. I think it's great. Works perfectly. I loved Magneto. Well, he was an eventual villain in this, but I love the old feel of it. I think this was like supposed to take place in like the 70s or something, 60s, 70s, and I love like that the government aspect, and it feels old school, and the conflict between the mutants and the government and society. It works better in this movie for me than it did in X-Men 1 or X2, but I really like the movie. I like them assembling that team and having to train them. I think just the X-Men in this, I think that one guy who does the sonar thing, I think he's supposed to be Banshee, and then you have Havoc in this. They just don't feel that important because, you know, you're not going to see them again. They weren't in First Class. I just wish some of those characters felt a little more, they felt a little more important, had more of a presence. They didn't, but I don't really understand how you could love X-Men Days of Future Past without loving this. And also, Michael Fassbender's Magneto was just brilliant. I loved how they continued his origin story from like the little intro they showed in, I think it was it X-Men 1 or X2? Or I don't remember which movie it was, but they continued that and showed his origin story. I really love this movie. It feels clever. There's good action throughout. I really like it. And then X-Men Days of Future Past. This is the Target Steelbook. Love that artwork of the Sentinel there. It's actually a metal pack, though. I don't really distinguish between the two, but X-Men Days of Future Past. I really love this movie, and it wasn't what I was expecting. The reason this movie impressed me so much is because, for me, something I always complain about with almost every movie I see, especially superhero movies, but just movies in general, is that there isn't enough action. I say that so often, and in this, there was hardly any action. In the beginning, you have some really cool action scenes where the X-Men are fighting the Sentinels in the future, and you see all of them use their powers. It's like Avengers type stuff. You know, you see all the different heroes and they all get their screen time. I wish there could have been more of that, but in the end, I really didn't care. And the final, what's supposed to be like the final battle, is really not a battle at all. There's almost zero action in the actual final confrontation. Yet I didn't care. I still love the movie because it's just such great storytelling, a great drama. I love the time travel aspect. I love, again, it feels really epic. It feels like, well, literally in this movie, the fate of the X-Men in the future hangs in the balance and depends on X-Men going in the past, or Wolverine going in the past to try to correct everything. Loved it. Great drama, beautiful execution with the storytelling. And I really, in the end, I just really didn't care that there wasn't any action. I mean, I was aware of it. I was like, well, there was no action in that movie, but it didn't take a thing away from it for me at all. Still an incredible movie. Again, I think I just like X2 a little bit more. Maybe it's just because I grew up with that one. But if they could take that action from X2 and give it such a powerful story, combine it with a powerful story like this movie, that would just be perfect. Apocalypse, I think, from the trailer, the leaked one, it seems to be going more in the direction of this, more story driven, more character driven. But even if they do that, because I love this, I'm sure I'll end up really loving that one. But this was definitely a really impressive special movie. All right. I actually have one other movie here. I gotta grab it off of my shelf here. But I'm gonna show this one. I have a couple of X-Men TV series here. I just finished watching this today, actually. This is Wolverine and the X-Men. I think this came out in 2008 or so. Never knew about it. But my friend, who I mentioned before, Ben the Movie G, recommended this to me. And I started it a couple months ago, just finished it. This is such an incredible series. From the beginning, I thought it felt a little goofy. It's not as dark as the 90s superhero series, but it's based on the same storyline, basically, as Days of Future Past, where Professor X, he wakes up. Well, he's actually attacked. There's some kind of attack in the present, and that's the storyline. They're trying to figure out who attacked them and what happened, but Professor X goes into a coma. He wakes up in the future, and then he has to contact Wolverine through his telepathy to let him know that in the future the Sentinels are in control. They've wiped everything out. It's a wasteland, and Wolverine has to try to correct it. But every episode, there's 26 episodes, every episode just advances the storyline in a good way. There are twists and turns. They backtrack a little bit between different characters and different subplots. But the story just feels very epic. And every episode is very action-packed, way more so than Batman the Animated Series. And I really love that. Very impressed by how much action there was. And I just wish that they would have made another season, because at the end they leave off what they do, save the day, but in the new future, Professor X lets them know that Apocalypse is the new villain. So I wish they would have made another series doing that, but we're getting X-Men Apocalypse, so I guess we'll see that in a live action movie. But this was very, very good. I don't know how it compares to the original 90s series, which I'm going to show you because I haven't watched those yet, but very, very good. I loved it. Okay, we're almost done here. Just going to get the last couple of movies in front of me. Okay, so I'll just show you all of these seasons of X-Men the Animated Series. I only watched a few episodes here and there as a kid because it was never on when I was home. I think it had an earlier airtime than the other shows, Batman the Animated Series and Batman Beyond, but I can't wait to check these out. Just picked them up this summer. And I did unboxings of all of these if you want to check those out. There's 5 volumes in all. They're about like $13 a piece on Amazon. They're not hard to find. I think Walmart also has them. Volume 5. Got Captain America there on the cover. But let me know how those are, because I'm not familiar with them. And then this is X-Men The Legend of the Wolverine. Has some episodes from the series. I remember one episode with Nightcrawler that features him that I really liked. Don't remember much about this though. One that I got a long time ago as a kid, probably was like over 10 years ago. Yeah, I know they're There's a set of these. I know there's a couple other ones, but no need to get those since I have the entire series now. Okay, and now just two final superhero groups. Spider-Man trilogy. Actually have all of these on DVD. The Sam Raimi trilogy. I don't love these movies, but I do think they're good and way better than the Amazing Spider-Man series, which I just could not stand. Those movies to me just completely suck. And these, well, not great, not masterpieces in any way. Definitely not, the best Spider-Man movie they can make. These movies are still just way above the newer ones. I saw every single one of these in the theater, I remember, so, kind of a series I grew up with. At times here and there, things feel a little goofy. But these movies actually have a story to them. Throughout all of the movies, the romance between Spider-Man and Mary Jane, it's a little overdone. But their story, there's some decent action to them. A lot of people think 2 is just like incredible. I like 2, but I think it still has its problems. I think 1 is still my favorite just because you get that origin story. It feels a little darker than 2 to me, but yeah, 2 is good, has action. 3, everyone hates it. I do too. That thing with Spider-Man, he's going to the bar and dancing and has like a mental breakdown. That was just so goofy, and I don't know how they came up with that and included it in the movie and tied that in with Venom. That was just so bizarre and awful. But Spider-Man 3, if you take that out and you, I think, also take Venom out, or at least make Venom an actual villain, not like this weird alien thing infecting Spider-Man's consciousness or whatever, transforming him. If you just made Venom like a separate villain, and then you have that dynamic between Green Goblin or Harry and Spider-Man. I loved how they teamed up at the end. If you made the movie just about that and had like Venom as the real villain and took out Topher Grace playing him, that's a pretty good movie, I think. But they had to ruin it. But the main point here is that these are way better than the shitty Amazing Spider-Man movies. And I only have the first one because this one doesn't suck as much as the second one. But it's still really crappy. I saw this in the theater. Didn't really enjoy it at all in the theater. The Blu-ray was on sale one day. But I shouldn't have gotten it because I got it thinking I would warm up to it a bit, and I didn't at all. It's still just a big piece of crap. The story's just a mess. I mean, you have the romance, you have... the coolest part is this kind of secrecy thing going on, the subplot with Spider-Man's father, which I think was never part of the comics, and of course not part of the Sam Raimi trilogy. That was really cool, and if they could have developed that into the main thing going on in the movie, that would have been really cool. But the lizard dude who he had to fight, I thought he just sucked as a villain, and it's totally stupid. I mean, he's Spider-Man's friend one moment, and then he just turns evil for whatever reason, just so they could throw a villain in there. And almost zero action in the whole movie. Definitely better action in the Sam Raimi films. It just is crap and it sucks. And then 2, I just thought that's a movie I'd have to give an F. I think it's even worse than the new Fantastic Four movie. I know no one would agree with me on that, but I mean that. That movie to me was so bad. The Electro villain, that's terrible. That's as bad, as much of a non-villain as Doom was in the Fantastic Four movie. 2 just sucked. Again, there was almost zero action. And it was even way more messy than the first movie with, his past with the Green Goblin, the thing with Aunt May going on, and then his relationship with Mary Jane. Just a big mess. Electro sucked as a villain, almost no action. Terrible. So please just watch the Raimi films, appreciate those for what they are, and forget about these, which just suck. It shouldn't be that hard to make a good Spider-Man movie. I mean, they almost did it with the Raimi films, just don't make it a romance movie or a drama. Include those dark themes, him losing his uncle and, discovering his powers, and then just give him some actual villains to fight, and don't make it, about this little teenage kid running around and, he wants to be a scientist and, he has a girlfriend and has to take care of his parents. It's like, that was all crap in the new movie. But I've talked long enough about those. And then here I just have a cartoon. This was like Legend of the Wolverine. Just a collection of episodes. I don't know if they're all about Daredevil, but one of the episodes did feature Daredevil. I remember that episode, the action, Daredevil kicking ass. That was really cool. And I should get the other ones eventually. I think there's 4 or 5 of them. I know there's Doc Ock and a Venom series. But Spider-Man, the animated series, I really hope at some point they can put those out on DVD. They don't exist. I think I read that they put them out once, I think in another country, Canada maybe. I don't know. But never a U.S. release, just these 4 or 5 sets of certain episodes. When I was buying all of the other series on eBay, I saw like a bootleg. It was going for like $60. I don't know how the person got it, but it was definitely, it doesn't exist, so it was a bootleg, and you could tell by the cover art it was some kind of bootleg, but yeah, I was tempted to get it. It said it had like all 60 episodes. I really wanted to, but I just couldn't trust it, being a bootleg. I just really hope they put out those episodes at some point, because I do. Though it's not a series I watched a ton of, but I do remember watching some episodes and really enjoying them. So, and I do like, at least from what I remember, the Daredevil episode in this I thought was awesome. So I would love to support that and pay money to get that collection. And let me know if any of you guys have seen, I think it's called The Spectacular Spider-Man. I think it came out, around 2008 or so, and it was on, I think, Disney, one of the Disney channels. And I heard that it did really well. I didn't know about it, so maybe it's like X-Men and the Wolverine, a really great show that I never heard of. So if you've seen that, let me know if that's good and worth getting. All right, and then the last 2 movies here, probably an overlooked superhero series, but the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. These are the 3 original movies on Blu-ray. I haven't watched the Blu-ray yet. I also have the original DVD box set that I got a long time ago. I think over 10 years ago. But these movies, the first one especially, which I think is the best, is a lot of fun. They all feel kind of campy and goofy, but the first one's fun. I don't remember them terribly well, but I have seen them all, I think, at least more than once. The second one I enjoyed, but worse than the first, and then the third one I just hated, and that's how everyone feels, I think, about all the movies. But I like, the first one, and I thought it would always be the best movie. Even after I saw the remake, or the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie, this is the Steelbook. After I watched this in the theaters, I still felt like Well, I'm gonna explain my thoughts, but after I saw this for the first time, I thought that the first movie would still be the best one. But yeah, I saw this movie in theaters, and going into it, my expectations were so low. I wasn't even really hoping to enjoy it. I just went in there just to see it, and thinking I was going to see a really stupid movie. My expectations were so low that I think I enjoyed this a lot more than other people did. I thought I could buy it if it was really cheap, and the Steelbook was on sale at one point. I just got this past summer, back in June. It's on sale. It's a Best Buy exclusive. It was like $18, and I had a gift card thing, so I got it for like $10. And I wasn't going to get it otherwise. Never wanted to pay full price for it. Not thinking that it was a movie I really needed to have. But I watched this again, and I just couldn't believe how much I enjoyed it and how good I thought it was. I mean, yes, of course, like the story is just so shallow and not creative at all. But the whole feel, it just totally works for this. I mean, it's goofy. It's really cheesy, and the villain is kind of sucks. I mean, it's just like this rich guy who wants power and wants to kill everyone, but it totally worked. The movie's funny. It's really bright and colorful, and I love the New York vibe. The action I thought actually was really enjoyable. There were a few scenes where they kind of used shaky cam, but they didn't overdo it, and then there were some scenes where they didn't use any shaky cam at all, and I think even used some slow-mo effect in some of the scenes, and the action scenes there were just a lot of fun. I thought the pacing was really good. Megan Fox, sucks as an actress, but she was something pretty to look at, and I thought her kind of really shallow, generic kind of damsel in distress character worked perfectly for this. So overall, I thought this was a really fun movie. Of course, it's not The Dark Knight or a serious thing going on, but it's just a lot of fun and really effective for the feel it was going for. So I loved it. I think everyone got it completely wrong. I mean, if you hate it, everyone has their own tastes, but I was surprised at how differently I felt about it on the second viewing. One of the rare movies that watching it the second time, I liked it a lot more. I love it, and I could watch this. Many more times, and I can't wait for the sequel. I just hope they do kind of the same thing. In the beginning of the movie, they did this thing where they were kind of trying to tease the Ninja Turtles. They wouldn't show them on screen. They were kind of these mysterious figures running in the night, taking out bad guys, and they would just kind of like Godzilla. They would just show them run by and they would show the bad guys being taken out. You would hear them punching them, but you wouldn't see the action scenes. That was a little weird, not so enjoyable. But if they just include good action, have good jokes in there, and give us another just fun, kind of senseless story, that'll be enough for me to enjoy the second movie. So really like this one. I would suggest you give it another watch. Just try to have fun with it. Don't try to look at it as don't think of it as it trying to be a good movie, just a fun, entertaining movie. So I really liked it. Oh, I'm tired. All right, guys. Thank you. That's it for my entire superhero movie and TV show collection. I know it was a really long video, but thank you again to Movie Biz for requesting this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope all of you enjoyed it. Yes, thank you. Check out my recent Blu-ray update and another similar video to this. I showed some of the same titles I showed here in that. but a bunch of other movies that I've watched since my last update. So check that out. I have a lot of movie reviews from this past summer for a lot of the really big titles that came out. And I do a lot of unboxings as well. I always do that, so check those out. All of the movies you saw here I've done unboxings of, so you can check all of those out. And I'll be back mid-September when Sicario comes out. That's the next movie I'm going to see. So take care, you guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. Hey guys, after I finished recording that video, I realized that I forgot to show Justice League Crisis on Two Earths, and another really good Justice League movie. I like this one more than New Frontier and Doom. Not as much as Flashpoint Paradox or the latest one, Gods and Monsters, but a really good movie. Another throwback to the TV series. Really good action. And it's about there's another alternate universe where the true Justice League, they have to fight the alternate versions of themselves. Another really good favorite of mine of the whole series. Really like Crisis on Two Earths. All right, guys, thank you. That's it. I'll see you next time. Bye.